a laugh about the Cards Against Humanity game that we had the other week as well. We need to do another one then, by the way.
About what? Sorry?
The Cards Against Humanity game that we played the other week.
Oh, I just found out that hold on. Why isn't it showing? Can you see the live stream, Clara? Because I'm not seeing any. It says it's on, but I can't see it.
Oh, you're on live stream.
Yeah.
We're on live stream.
Oh yeah. Oh no, that does work. Okay. That's all right. I had to forget the price. Okay, we're live. Now.
Well, this is great to know, because last time you went live, it took me about 20 minutes to realise. At least you're being open with me up front this time. Wow, okay.
Okay, I think it's working.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah.
Is it recording as well? My
Yeah.
goodness, so we can even go back and listen to it all over again.
Yes, we can repeat everything.
I'm trying not to shudder. Well, okay. Well, I guess we ought to say hello to everybody. Hi.
Hi.
I'm Andy. I've got Pris here. We've got Clara here. We've got the dog here. We did have some food on there, but Pris ate it all.
Wow.
Well, it was here till Pris turned up and then it disappeared, so I guess Pris probably ate it all. So we've just ended up with drinks here now.
Yeah.
And I in true life's fashion, basically, I've rolled out the old boat again, and just looked for somewhere else to park it, because we seem to be coming from a variety of locations around the Black Sea, and I turned up this thing called Fishers Island Yacht Club. These guys, it's a really lovely place. They do a lot of races and stuff like that, so I've parked myself just off the side to one of the courses they've got where you can go sailing. This isn't a plug. It's purely just the fact that I found somebody. It was fairly nice to look at. They're playing Elvis in the background. If Elvis is your thing, this could be your Nirvana. But we're sitting here, and it's a nice, pretty background. And if I do cam over, there is the obligatory lighthouse in the background even as well. So this place has it all. Someone, I think, was saying to you, Pris, about the boat and where does this boat come from? I don't really want to sort of advertise particular manufacturers on these live streams. This particular one I got through because it was attached to my landlord from some land which I rented out. But on the side of it, it is available. It's called an 86-foot yacht called a Domino. If you Google an 86-foot Domino yacht, you'll come up with a rather exclusive brand of Italian yacht makers called Riva, who do actually make an 86-foot Domino, which looks remarkably similar to this. And the branding is the same. I have looked at it online. I can see that, for example, there is a yacht brokers in Florida, has 3 of them up for sale right now. There's a lovely 2014 Riva 86-foot Domino going for 3.2 million with 4 staterooms, 5 heads and 2 engines. I think by heads they mean WCs, not heads of people. Yes, it's cruised quite happily, apparently at sort of 30 odd knots. It's remarkably similar to what you get in Second Life, but unfortunately it hasn't got the Second Life flag on the back. That's something special which we've done for everybody here. So yeah, we had a few things going talking about there. We had an absolute blast the other week, Pris, where we started playing Cards Against Humanity. I really think we need to be live streaming that, particularly bearing in mind it's got some well-known personalities. In the Lindens. Everyone's been remarkably quiet.
But I just found out that I could have streamed over to X. Because apparently on there, there's no
that would be amazing. That would be amazing. Yeah, we could do that. That would be awesome. And you can get Grokky involved in all that as well. It would be superb. But in the weird and wonderful world of Second Life, in the last few days, we had a little chat as we do, making a little bit of the sort of things we can talk about before we started going live on this. But we've seen there's been job opportunities at the Linden Labs. Who would have known? Who would have known? They've they sold part of the investment that they had off to another bank, if you like. Tilia has been sold off to Tunes. That's spelled Thunes. Tunes, and there will continue to be the payment system for Second Life, which is great, but I think that helps to pacify the investment fund that basically invested in Second Life a couple of years ago, so they get a return on what they've got. Tunes have paid for it, and they still can carry on working with it in Second Life, so everyone's a winner. But I guess probably as part of that, they've now been in the position where they can actually hire a new director, and we've noticed that there is Life at Linden Lab has come up and said you could be part of something. The guys out there, if you're interested, you could be a part of something amazing. And I'm quoting directly from the job opportunity here. They are looking, if you're in the San Francisco area, or if you want to go and live in the San Francisco area, assuming there's no earthquake, they have a post for a business operations director. There we go. That's a pretty senior title. They want you to be working at San Francisco from Tuesday to Thursday with additional days on site as needed. This is probably one reason why those of us who are not in the USA can never get hold of them, because they're only there from Tuesday to Thursday. They're offering the princely sum of between $175,000 and $237,000 as a salary, plus benefits.
Plus benefit, wow.
Yeah, there's other benefits in this. There's all sorts of things. They look at these things. They want people to develop frameworks and key performance initiatives, do a bit of ROIs. You've got to be able to use PowerPoint, apparently. There's a good thing, and have a bachelor's degree in something suitable. They would like people that have been able to budget exceeding 50 million. So they want someone that's fairly senior on these things with a bit of nominal IT experience and private experience with debt financing, fundraising, and working in a VC venture capitalist backed company. So yeah, there we go. Someone that can do a bit of banking, all that stuff. Ideally, 10 years of experience in strategy, operations, investment banking, casino operations, or internet-scale tech companies. There you go. Whoever said there wasn't any money in Second Life?
Well, obviously they do, since they can pay. So,
yeah.
you know, maybe they should lower the price of lands, no?
Well, there is that, yeah. You've got to ask the question. So, they can afford to pay people that kind of money, and I guess it's not all coming from the sale of Tilia.
No.
So, what else are they doing with this money? Are we going to continue to develop things that no one can use? Are they going to develop things that they're going to charge people an absolute fortune to use, and then basically start making things redundant? I'm referring, of course, to the web-based new versions of Second Life and new viewers that are out there. Because when you have to start paying for the time that you're using that, then you're being gradually moved on to a subscription-based model, because unless you've got a computer that can handle that kind of graphics, or you're comfortable with a lower grade experience, then you're going to have to pay for that to carry on using that. And, well, I guess that's what they want a new operations director for. There we go.
Well,
we did have a laugh
about games as well.
Yeah.
One thing, no gambling.
Well, there was that as well. Did I not see somewhere a little while back when they phased out gachas for the reason that you can't be doing gambling and offering products for sale by chance? So.
Yeah, but they brought it back.
Yeah. Maybe they found a way around the regulation.
How can you find a way get around the regulations, though? Where?
Yeah.
How?
Yeah. Well, that's something I need to have a look into. I don't know straight away, but you could see that they weren't permitted at the time to be able to provide anything by chance, so they basically phased out the ability to have gachas, so that people, when they were investing and buying products, they knew what they were getting. And that's fair enough. If I go back to my local product laws in the United Kingdom. We'd have a thing which we used to call the Sale of Goods Act. It's now the Consumer Services Act, and basically this means that everything you buy has to be, 1, of merchantable quality, 2, fit for purpose, 3, it should be what you've bought. There is a law, that law has been out for 20 to 30 years in the UK to make sure, protect consumers. Here we are in bandit country in Second Life, and they don't care less about any of that. But that's what we have in the UK. And I guess really it would be lovely, it would be fantastic for an organisation to stick its head above the parapet and say, look, let's not have people that are charging lots and lots of money to develop things and it doesn't work. Let's not have people that are charging for demos up front. We'll come back to that in a minute, on things, so you don't know if it's even going to work unless you pay the money to try the demonstration. Let's not have these things unless there is some kind of protection, because at the end of the day it's our money here, and we don't all have money growing on trees, and we can't just spend it, or much as there is a high shopping culture in the Second Life. So yeah, I think you've got some thoughts about this too, haven't you, Chris?
Yeah, but they think people were mentioning, like in the comments right now, crypto and gambling. That's what is a bit worrisome. If they're bringing crypto and gambling, do we need that in Second Life, really?
Well, yeah. I mean, I wouldn't want to get involved with it. I mean, at the end, personally, because I think you and I have had a conversation, and we did it online a while back, because this is an open source program, and if you start putting your personal details, your bank details, etc., with a view to gambling, crypto, and all that stuff linked to your Second Life account, who's to say what happens if you inadvertently click on a link one day, somebody else gets access to your account, and then suddenly they've got access to all your banking details in real life as well as the virtual stuff as well. You are up the proverbial without a paddle, and I'm not talking from a BDSM sense. So yeah,
because if you look at this job offer, it says investment experience in investment banking, casino operations, internet scale tech companies. It also says AI-driven reporting, skilled in scenario planning. What did I say? With iBanking and online banking. It's gaming ecosystems, virtual economies.
There we go.
Yeah. I don't know where they're going with that. But, instead of going this way, couldn't they fix, what's broken and what's happening with the mobile app as well? So they spend all that money trying to do a useless app, and now what's happening with that? Then there's Zero, the streaming, and now we're bringing back Gacha.
I think there needs to be.
It seems like it's all about money to me.
It is. Well, at the end of the day, it's a business, and the function of a business is to make money. So, guess what, guys? Linden Lab is a business. They are trying to make money.
I mean, yes and no.
Well, it's not
it depends on what the business is doing. Yes, they need money, but like some businesses also have more going on than just generating money. Linden Labs has a lot more going on. Yeah.
You can do business and make money and still care about your users. Right now, I don't think they care about anything except making money, which is fine, but they need to care about us, because without us, well, they're nothing.
Well, look at the advert we have for this business operations director. It's got nearly 2 billion user creations and a $650 million economy. It prides itself on being a global hub for collaboration, self-expression, and entrepreneurship. And yeah, it's not a charity, guys. So they're not going they're there to make money, and they have been making
No,
money,
it's
and
not
they
a
will
charity,
continue to
but
do
it's
so.
like it's like they're missing what this whole thing is all about, just in the interest of chasing money.
Yeah. Well, I use the term game, but that leads us back into the conversation as to is Second Life a game? That depends on the way that you approach it. But if you look at any other game, or let's call it an online experience, those organisations, if you buy a game for your gaming system, the cost of those is going up through the roof. The development costs are up through the roof. The cost of the end product is going up through the roof. Gaming consoles are increasing in price now. The cost of everything is increasing. And it goes to the point where at some point in the future, if we haven't already reached it, people will have to look at the experience and decide, is this worth to me paying the amount of money that they want to charge for it? And then, hey, we're all going to go.
Everything is going up except our wages.
Yeah, no, I don't.
My salary doesn't move. It's the same, and it's not even a quarter
Yeah.
of that what they're paying.
No,
per
but
person.
what it looks to me like is like Second Life is a lot of different things to different people. These are all avenues where they could be and already are making some money. They could be pursuing the future of these avenues to make more money, but instead they're going way left field, chasing something that no one on SL really is involved in or caring about, which gambling. Gacha's just came back, but it was gone for a couple years, so people were not into that for a while. And also crypto is way outside of anything Second Life is doing.
Yeah, what's the point of bringing crypto in Second Life?
Yeah, they're going way out left field to chase what they think is going to be big money, but actually their money is already here, and it's not those things.
Even if you want to gamble, there's plenty of gambling apps.
Yeah, if you want to gamble,
apps, you don't even need to go to Second Life, have the headache of creating an avatar and just to go and gamble when you can just download an app.
Seems, yeah, in the crypto thing, it seems almost random, except that crypto is electronic and Second Life is like electronic and but that's the only connection. No one in Second Life is doing any crypto type stuff.
Unless they
I think they probably are, but they're probably not doing it in Second Life. Oh yeah, come on. The number of technicians and IT people out there that have probably got little farms of old computers churning away trying to mine cryptocurrency for themselves, and they've been doing it for years. And this is a basically way of starting to deal with that and increase the investment and increase the yield that you get from those. So that's been going on for a while. Guess what? When you start dealing with currencies and changing of currencies, there's all sorts of commissions and admin costs and everything involved with changing one from the other. So I'm sure that there will be somehow some kind of kickback to the Linden Labs in terms of dealing in cryptocurrency, as it would be any form of online gaming, etc. as well. There's always a kickback. There's always a commission. There's always an admin fee. It's another way of making money. They are a business after all. So, that's out there. But I mean, something else that Chris was saying recently was about these demos. And I have to say, I'm probably with Chris on this, bearing in mind I've already aforementioned consumer sales, sale of good acts, etc. over here in the UK, where you've got to have things which are fit for purpose, merchantable quality, does what it says on the can. There's no element of risk involved. Otherwise, you are entitled to either a full exchange or a full refund.
Yeah,
if it works out that the exchange
refunds are not available in Second Life, we can't have a refund.
That's
why we have demos. Yeah.
Well, that's the whole point, because the Sale of Goods Act in the UK says that actually extends to every online purchase too. So technically, we could take, as a UK citizen, I could take that law and throw it at Linden Labs, and all hell would break loose. because people then suddenly have to legally apply the protection which they have a right to have in UK
but
law.
you don't want people abusing
I know,
that.
I know.
Especially
But
if
let's
you're
take
a
it. But let's take
store
it one
owner,
step
someone
further.
lying to you to get a refund and stuff. You don't.
So
want
let's
that.
take it one step further. If I want to go, I mean, okay, you may or may not have noticed I've got a new avatar. Yes, I finally decided to upgrade my avatar. I've moved from the old signature body to a legacy body. Woohoo! And it looks remarkably similar to what it was before. But hey, I guess I'm rolling with the times.
I think you got hot. I mean, you're already hot. You look a bit hotter.
I have changed the haircut too, which is probably a little bit more closer to what I've actually got by way of a haircut right now. Although I must admit the fringe is a bit weird. But anyway, I'll grin and bear that if you can. But if I go and buy some clothes to fit this wonderful new body I've got, I'd like to be able to know that they actually fit them. Under my laws in the UK, or indeed for online purchases anywhere, it says that these things have to fit me, or I'm entitled to a refund. Is it therefore fair, and I know Pris has blogged on this as well, is it therefore fair that in the very act of trying to purchase something and check that it actually fits and is suitable, i.e. by getting a demo, is it actually fair that you have to pay for that demo to do that?
No.
Because all you're therefore doing is you're alienating your customers by charging them for the very means of checking to make sure they can actually buy the thing you're trying to sell them.
I have a question though. If Linden Labs is based in California, wouldn't it be under California law?
Correct, but the point of purchase is not in California. The point of purchase is in the UK because that's where I put my money in.
When you agreed to TOS, did you agree
Correct.
to California law
Correct.
or your law?
That's the whole point. TOS says that they have to apply the Linden Lab things from over in San Francisco. That's their get out on the whole thing. But the Act in the UK actually supersedes that and says that the consumer has a right to that. It's a shady area. And there's an awful lot of British people out here keep saying, well, if this thing doesn't fit me, I want to get my money back. Or at least, wouldn't it be great to have some money back, or at least have a means of checking? And there's nothing there.
Did I ever tell you a story about?
We're kind of resigned to it now, but that's the whole thing there. But yeah, when it comes to looking at demos, I really don't like the idea of having to pay a demo. It's not that I'm tight. It's not that I haven't got the money. It doesn't rest well with me that someone wants to charge me.
If we're talking about laws from different places and stuff, I actually have an internet story about that.
Go on.
I had some self-published books on Amazon. They were pirated by some website in a language that I've never seen before, maybe since. And there was nothing I could do except just take them down from Amazon so it wouldn't happen again, because international law is really murky, quirky, and it was, if we could even find where they were, it may not have been illegal where they were.
Yeah, but Clara, that's to do with your works and your the books that you've written. That's not to do about if you are buying.
We're talking about
you're buying
laws
a mesh.
in two different.
Yeah,
we're
but we're talking
about laws in two different places across the internet.
It's a
it
different
seems
thing.
Similar to me.
Yeah,
this is a different thing.
Yeah, different.
We're talking here about clothing. We're talking here about even the yacht I'm sitting in. If I decide to get this yacht and suddenly find I couldn't go anywhere in it, if I decide to buy the clothing and find it doesn't fit me, what is the easiest way of checking to make sure it fits me? To have a demonstration version. I don't care if it's got demo splashed all over it or got some big rings around it or something like that. I just want to know that it fits my avatar and make sure that it's okay and it's fit for purpose. That's because I haven't got the protection of the law behind me, the protection of the UK law behind me. So, okay, I'd like to do that. But is it right to charge me for that? I'm, you know, that doesn't rest well with me at all. In fact, I would almost go so far as to say that people that want to charge for demos are, in a sense, I understand the necessity and their willingness and their, you know, wanting to try and make some money out of people. Maybe they're not making as much money as some of the people that are more popular.
One
charging
one of the comments was she's charging because, you know, it takes time to upload, make the mesh, blah blah blah. So she thinks that she's entitled to charge for a demo because a demo is work to put out.
Isn't a demo isn't the very purpose of a demo to have the exact same product? So all you're basically doing is producing another version with demo splashed over it so that people can check and make sure it actually works. You're basically charging people for peace of mind, and I don't feel that's fair.
Well, no, because it is like paying for advertising. Your demo is your advertising. And in Second Life, you don't actually pay for advertising like most companies in real life will pay for advertising, or they have their newsletter going out about their new products. So your demo is your advertising, your marketing. So if you charge for that, it's stupid. But at the same time, so if you look at it from a real life point of view, if you're going to charge for, if you're going to pay for marketing, then marketing expense, it's a marketing expense. So I don't know if as a Second Life business, can you, because you're not charging for marketing, you're not paying for marketing, you can't have that as a deduction. So they're thinking, okay, well, let's just charge for one Linden.
I'm going to put this out there. If someone wants to financially take advantage of my peace of mind and my concern as to understanding as to whether they're actually providing a quality item or not, and they want to charge me to find out and see if that's the case, then frankly, I don't want to buy anything from them.
Well, then don't.
Yeah.
Then don't. Your money talks.
Yeah.
If no one's buying stuff because they don't want to pay for the demo, like, it will show over time, and the company will.
Well, yeah, that's the whole point.
But the problem as well is most people don't even see it because it's a little bit tricky, because we know, like our brains knows that some vendors will charge you one Linden and you know it's going to pay you back. You know, so you don't even pay attention to it. You just get the demo and you think, and you've got so many windows opened that you don't even notice that you've been charged one Linden. That's the issue.
What happens if they put a time limit on the amount of time you're about to use that demo for? So you're basically going to throw them, say, 5 Lindens to basically try your demo, and that whole thing's going to implode in 2 minutes, for example. Your 5 Lindens have gone. If you have a problem where
that's
you've got
ridiculous.
I don't like those time limit things anyway. If you crash while you've got those things there, or your system goes down or something, you've suddenly lost your demo code. You got to pay it all again every time.
There's one brand. One brand that does that. They charge 1 Linden. They have a timer on the demo, and they do not have a HUD on the demo.
Well, frankly, from my personal, these guys can shoot me down in flames, or they can say what they like against me. If these guys want to financially take advantage of my concern that they may or may not be providing a quality item, and they just want to charge me for the ability to find that out, then clearly they have no confidence in my ability to be a customer of theirs. And frankly, I'll take my money and I'll spend it somewhere else, because that's my point of view. I would never ever go to a shop to buy in real life, say to buy like a shirt or go into a changing room, and the guys charge me to go into the changing room to put the shirt on. That's just a nonsense. You can't do that, and that's what these people are trying to do in Second Life. I think it's wrong. Sorry.
Yeah, I think it is wrong. But what I think is even worse is that the events manager allow it. Because at the end of the day, you know, they're charging high fees for all their their vendors, which is fair. Well, fair to a point. That's another.
Yeah, that's another subject. Yeah.
yeah. That's another video coming out about events. Yes, it's coming. I'm still working on it. Because I have a lot to say about those, but they should be the one to make sure that people are not ripping off their customers. And none of them have done that.
Wait, is it because
you've got to ask the question? If you are running an event, you've got to ask the question: do you therefore have to vet every product that's being on show at your event to make sure that it is giving the consumer the experience that you're wanting them to have?
I raised the concern, so it has been put out there. I've said it. Many videos of mine have. So yeah, maybe they're not all watching.
Hey, wait,
me, but
I don't think I agree.
Raised. You don't agree?
And I
jump off the boat.
What?
Jump off the boat.
No, I mean with the concept, not with what you just said.
This wouldn't do it.
Because
yeah.
No. It's okay. So I still think it comes down to how international laws interact and what is under TOS. Because under American law, I'm pretty sure, I'm not 100%, I'm not a lawyer, but I think that businesses can do almost whatever they please, and the customer will decide if they're coming back or not. Like, for example, there was about 10 years ago, around the time that different states were legalizing gay marriage, there was like a cake bakery.
Yeah.
No. There was a cake bakery. A gay couple wanted a cake for their wedding, and the bakery said, "No, we don't want to do business with gay people." And the bakery was wrong.
But yeah.
It is not off topic. The bakery was wrong, but it was their right to declare that as a business. Here under American law.
Yeah.
Now they couldn't do anything to the gay couple except turn them away, obviously.
You're taking this to extremes, Clara. I've got to be honest with you. I mean, let me give you another scenario. Let me give you another scenario, right? 18 months ago, I flew to Texas and I met Clara. And we went shopping. We had bunch of things. I bought myself a pair of jeans. I bought myself a pair of cowboy boots. Well, I was in Texas, right? You got to do it. They threatened me with a Stetson, but I couldn't find one that fitted my head. But that's another story for another time, perhaps. But I went into this. How big was that place? We went into this place where they sell cowboy boots. I have never seen a shop that big or store that big in my life, unless it's a supermarket the size of Walmart, because it literally was about the same size. And I'm walking up and down the aisles, and all I'm seeing is a sea of boots. And eventually I get a lady that's on the thing there, and she comes and gives me a hand and says, "Okay, so you might want to have this pair," and starts to give me a bit of direction into what fits, what might be my size and what might not be my size. And I'm looking at this and I'm thinking, okay, fine. She didn't charge me to try any of those boots on. In fact, she was pulling them all off the rack and lining them in front of me. Try these ones, try that one. I didn't want to look like Midnight Cowboy, so I got rid of all the pearly ones and the turquoise ones and all the things. And they had things made out of alligator skin, and they had things made. It was mind blowing for a bumbling Brit basically that goes over there and thinks a cowboy boot is just a pointy thing with a wedge heel that John Wayne used to ride around with. And needless to say, the ones I've got are not like that anyway. But
well, but
I wasn't
charged.
I wasn't charged for trying any of those things on.
Right.
In fact, when I went back and saw you 6 months later, we went back into that store and they remembered me from the first time around. I mean, that's kind of crazy.
Yeah, but
yeah.
What about restaurants that charge you to use the bathroom? No, nobody likes it. It's a terrible business decision, but legally they're allowed to here in America.
Well, that's interesting because that's another one. That legally in the UK and in Europe, they're not allowed to do that. They have to be free.
This is why I think it comes down to which law. Is
anyone selling?
Is it UK law because you live in the UK and you are the consumer, or is it California law because Linden Labs is in California, or could it be the seller's country, that law?
What about charging to go to the toilets like they do in France, public toilets? You have to pay to go into public toilets.
Yeah.
You do in some of them, yeah, but if you go into a restaurant and you want to use the toilet there, you don't charge to go into those things. They have to buy.
Nobody likes it. It will turn the customers away because they'll get mad. Yeah.
Yeah. If I go into a restaurant and I need to use the facilities, by law they have to have the facilities available to me. That's EU. That's European law. That's not just British. And they don't.
That's not American law.
But hang on, Clara. I'm not talking about American law. I'm talking about the law everywhere else. They don't charge me for that.
But Linden Labs is based in California. Does this come under TOS and California law?
Well, shall we stop talking about TOS for a second and talk about whether it's ethically right to be charging for these things or not?
Okay, no, it's not ethically right, but I'm talking about what's legal. You can't do anything about shit if it's legal.
Yeah. Okay. I'm just sitting and looking at the chat here. Cloudy, great to see you. Joe's out there as well. Guys, we are moored in a marina out here. If you are in World and you want to come and join us and sit on this boat for us for half an hour or something, sing out and we'll invite you over.
Come argue with me. I've had too much Starbucks.
Hi, Clowny.
She really has.
Is that what it is? It is. You fired up because of the coffee. Wow. Wow.
Don't look at me. I'm on coffee tonight because I ran out of milk. So I'm on this black. I'm on this black Nespresso thing.
He's got that me espresso.
He can't have his little tea and his little milk. Oh, poor G-Dum. Oh.
So I'm sitting here with a very nice cup. I'm sitting here with a very nice cup of Italian lungo, whatever that means. Lungo. I think that's how they pronounce it. Lungo coffee. It's not a particularly strong one, but at 20 to 2 in the morning, which is what the time is here right now, I shouldn't really be drinking this stuff. But hey, so yeah, I'm working my way through that. There we go. Remy, I feel your pain. I really do. Kimmy, great to see you. Guys, if you want to come over and sit on the boat with us, just hit us in World. Hit Pris and hit one of us in World. We've got a few seats and things around. As long as you don't try and drive the boat off into somewhere else, we'll be completely fine. So yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, so there was, you never know if you're any good at it. You might end up with a job working for Linden Labs as the next business operations director because there's a good six-figure salary up for grabs and all that. So there we go. I'm with you on this, Pris. About
I'm with you morally, Pris, but yeah, if something is morally wrong but not against the law, you can't exactly stop them unless you can change the law.
They can charge. If they want to charge for a demo, they can charge for a demo, but I don't think it's right. And
it's not right.
Yeah, I don't think it's right.
I think it demonstrates the amount of regard they had for their customers. Let's put it that way. And if they want to start charging for someone to just check and make sure that it actually does what
is up with Joe?
Yeah, what is this Nanny Lane?
Annie, what are you doing?
Yeah, what is this? Because we're going to have to.
This is becoming a little bit spammy. At least tell us what you mean.
Yeah, we're going to have to stop it if you don't stop. Please.
Yeah.
Well, we'll just kick that person off the stream. It'll be fine.
Yeah. Okay. So
next. A choice.
Yeah. So anyway, if you want to charge, you can charge, but it is wrong in my eyes to charge for your demos because
you're going to lose the loyalty of your customers if you do charge because you've denied them the ability to make sure that the thing is right for them. And you're just taking
I think you
advantage.
should, you should. There should be a note as well that you're charging for a demo, because for some people they do have a budget. When you see some stores that have 5 demos, for one Linden, it's 5 Linden. Some people do care. I mean, some of us can afford. It's not a big deal, but for other people, 5 Linden is. So there's just a lack of respect, I think.
Yeah. And that kind of lays on to something else that we talked about before we went live on this thing, in talking in terms of, what's in it for us? We've got people out there blogging. We've got people out there advertising. We've got people trying things out there. We've got people like us sitting around a table talking about these things. And, what's in it for us? We do this for nothing. We do this because we enjoy it, because we try to benefit the community, collaborating with everybody else. A bit of self-expression involved as well. We encourage people to be entrepreneurial, as long as they're not trying to rip other people off. We're all in this together. But some people want something for nothing all the time. Some people want, either treat their creators as being like a never-ending freebie source of getting freebie things out there, without appreciating the work that goes into creating some of this stuff. And I've seen some conversations in some of the store groups where people are demanding gifts because they feel they should have one. And I'm thinking, have they actually forgotten the definition of the term gift? It's not a moral contractual obligation to give somebody so, but they feel that they need to have that. But then kick it back the other way, where we have people that are out there like Chris, who are talking about things online. They're bringing attention to other people on some factors that are out there, and things that can help people moving forward, or new initiatives. I mean, the thing that we have with Hive in the past was just a classic example of that. There is a service that we're doing for all these. And
I agree with
but what
Raveena.
do you get? What do you get it? What do you get for it, Chris? You don't get anything, do you? That's not necessarily.
No, we don't get anything as a blogger. And I mean, I love what I do. I absolutely love what I do. I love doing videos, and I love talking, about stuff related to Second Life. But, oops, we've got someone.
Remy's here.
Hi, Remy's here.
Remy's here. Hey, Remy, good to see you. Are you on voice, Remy? Come on, voice, and say hi.
Hi, Remy.
So somebody said the law doesn't really matter, since Linden Lab set the policy. They could choose to be more ethical, but clearly they are a corporation. And I think that's the issue. They only care about making money. They don't care about anything else, and looking at what okay and not okay. And sure, they can't police everything.
Yeah.
But
the only thing they have to do is operate under California law, but other than that, stop saying about they have to operate under the law. They have to operate under ethical. What is ethical for people? Because the residents, we're making up for this. Well, if we all leave Second Life, what are they going to do? Nothing, because where are they going to get the money? Well, it's like charging for the bathroom. Is it a good business decision? No. Is anybody gonna like you for it? No.
But
are a lot of people
charging
gonna
for
leave?
the bathroom
Probably.
has always been in France. Like, you can't. I don't know if it's a law. I don't know who come up with it. Actually, maybe one day I could research it, because charging to go to a public bathroom in France has always been. I've always, I left when I was 17, but I still remember, when I was working
here
in a shopping center. I had to go to the toilets. Even working in the shopping center, we didn't even get a pass to go to the public bathroom. We had to pay for it, Whether
Well,
it's a
here
law-
I'm in England. We've got something similar in England where yes, you will have to pay to go into many WCs, but there are some which are free out there as well. And there are, when I've been to Paris, there's been a few like that in Paris as well. With the pissoirs and stuff. I don't pay to go in those things. It's basically a cardboard thing, just covering my nether regions, and I sit there. I can have a conversation with somebody else the other side of that
Wait, is that
partition.
a dinosaur? Sorry. I'm looking
So
at that.
what the hell?
Sorry.
They have to follow the law wherever they serve their program services, just like Facebook. Well, they do have to follow the law, but they can still also be ethical. Not just follow the law and just, accept.
They should be ethical, but if it's not, if it's still under the law, what they want to do that's not ethical, technically they can still do that, is the thing.
Yeah.
Is it a great decision for them? Probably not, no. But they still can.
There we go.
It's American.
What, are we
laws
blaming it
are
on the
ultimate.
Americans now?
Well, I'm American. I'm saying they can
Can we?
they can do anything that is legal in America, and that is legal in America, and they can do it even if it's a really dumb thing.
Hell yeah. Remy's on voice. I can see you there, Remy. Here he is.
Remy.
Welcome. Good to see you.
Thank you very much for the invitation.
Well, you're more than welcome. The more the merrier. I'm not necessarily saying that we can have a full-on sort of Beats type boat party going on here, because I'm not sure this thing could actually handle the amount of people. But hey, we've got plenty of people. We've got 12 people watching. We could have all 12 of you on the boat here, I'm sure.
Yes.
I can't promise you seats everywhere. There are beds and things underneath as well. But hey, yeah.
Raveena,
So
are you talking about the gacha situation? Because a gacha is a bit like loot crates, which is illegal in some countries. Is that what you're referring to?
well, no, she's right. If you remember when we had a chat a couple of months back about the General Data Protection Regulations, GDPR, they call it, and a lot of those had actually now been reflected in the terms of service for Second Life too, because if people don't follow those things, and then Linden Labs could effectively lose 15% of their annual turnover by not conforming to those kind of regulations. And this was something when the regulations first came out that a number of American corporations were so scared they actually blocked people from Europe joining the things altogether, which is a different can of worms entirely. But there's a whole load of things like that that are lurking out there, and it doesn't matter which part of the world you're in, you have to be mindful of the regulations and the rules in other parts of the world. Lindens is no exception.
How do they get away
to that.
with gacha then? Because gacha is not allowed. Isn't it in, Belgium, for example?
Gambling is only legal in one state here, and it's not California.
Well, if I go back to my Sale of Goods Act and the Consumer Rights Act, then basically, if I'm buying a gacha, if I pay for an item, I'm not taking a lucky dip as to whether it's what I'm actually trying to buy, because the law says that if it's not as I expected it to be, and if it's not of acceptable quality and fit for purpose, I'm entitled to my money back. Now, okay, this is Second Life; they're not going to give me my money back, but at the same time, it's you're operating purchase based on chance, and there are regulations and state regulations that actually forbid that. That's why Lindens stopped it. I'm surprised that they've brought it back,
again,
unless they found a way around it. But that's that's out there. So yeah. I like the fact that now I can go and buy a gacha, and if I go to the right place where the gachas are there, I can actually buy the whole thing. And some of these gachas are actually really cool. Not that I go shopping very much, because bumbling Brit here, bumbling male in Second Life, there isn't actually a lot of stuff for us out there, guys. It's all the same. We'd like to have a bit more variety. The ladies get a really good deal out of the whole thing. We're the guys that sort of power this whole thing. We don't get the choice. All we get is a different colour. It's the same mesh depending on where you get it from. We'd love to have more things in Second Life.
Okay, so Raveena said they could IP block or tell the corporation to stop serving their region and bring them to court. Obviously, a user could circumvent this with a VPN.
VPN will never hide your identity. Let's get that elephant out the room.
But it still hide the IP, so they could pretend to be in another country to be able to play Gacha.
And we know people that hide their location right now and pretend they're in parts of Europe.
Yeah, but that's not all that VPNs are used for. Usually the advertisements I see for VPNs are about, your favorite show is streaming in Japan and you're in the UK. You can put on a VPN and it'll think you're in Japan so you can watch your show. I think that's what most people probably use it for. That sort of thing.
Well, it's a security thing more than anything else. I can go private on my internet access, and effectively that sets up a VPN. Bang! I just do it. It's actually on my antivirus, on my anti-malware program, so I can do that. It actually plays havoc with Second Life if I turn it on. But yeah, that's out there. There's other versions. There's even deeper versions using the Tor versions and some of the more unscrupulous things out there. But at the end of the day, your VPN provider still is tracking you. You might think you can not be tracked through a VPN, but frankly, if you're using a VPN provider, they know who you are. It doesn't take much then for that record to come back to track you anyway. It just hides it from the end user for a little while.
I mean, if they really want to find you, but like Netflix doesn't bother, for example.
Yeah. There's only so much you can do. We've got the same thing here in the UK with a thing called BBC iPlayer. Where you can sit and look for like sort of several months worth of TV programs or even live programs being a show from the BBC, and that's only really available to people that pay a BBC license here in the UK and being in the UK. So an awful lot of people then use VPNs to key in from other parts of the world, and that way then they can see BBC programs where they are. You guys could actually see the up-to-date versions of Doctor Who if you're really into that program, without having to get the full waiting for the whole thing to be broadcast in your local geography. Because if you've got a VPN, then yes you can tell everybody that you're in the UK and you are a license holder, and you will be able to sit and watch it, and there it is. Well, yes, there's an awful lot. You're right there, Cloudy. There is a hell of a lot of... I'm drinking BBC right now. It's a big mug. It's full of black coffee, and it is like 10 to 2 in the morning, and that's why. Yeah, it's really fulfilling, and I can really feel it inside now, I swear. So yeah.
Clown, you should come join us, bro.
Come on, guys, we're here.
All right, what's next on the topic list?
Well, we were talking a little bit about, what's in it for us, and the kickbacks potentially that we could try and have from various places for the use of our free time and our free services and our free goodwill. Paid demos was another one we looked at as well, and obviously we talked about new jobs going at Lindens and the sale of Tilia. And all of that. The other little thing which I did come up last week was just talking to a friend who discovered we've found a fantastic new application for AI, which may or may not be useful to a lot of people. Because AI isn't just about asking you for an extra 100 Lindens, and it's not about basically sort of copy-botting what you've got or spying on other people, or indeed, just generating pictures. You could actually generate Second Life mesh with it as well. And we've actually tried this, and it's actually worked. You can ask an AI outside Second Life to design me a mesh object and describe the parameters of that object to them, and it will automatically generate and say that it is going to be used to be in Second Life, and it will automatically generate that item for you, and you could just import that to Second Life for the princely sum of 14 Lindens, because that's the import cost. And once you've got it in Second Life, all you then got to do is basically texture it as you wish, and you can do all sorts of things. So all this talk about people that are using existing meshes and retexturing them, or saying they don't have a lot of stuff, and I'm as guilty as that as anybody, because I've just been saying I can't get the clothes I want to do. I can go into AI and ask an AI bot to basically design this stuff, and for the princely sum of 14 Lindens, not 200 Lindens or 1,400 Lindens, which might be the cost of buying that item in Second Life already, just 14 Lindens. I can have something which is to my own design, my own colour, my own specification. I won't have to pay the demo for it, and it will work. So there we are. AI isn't all bad.
How is that going to rig to your body though? Does it also, like, did you enter parameters to do it for?
Well, you put the parameters. You say, okay, I want to create this item. Say it's a shirt. I want to create the shirt. I want this shirt to be.
Oh, Raveena has a really good question.
I want to, yeah.
To be fair, our friend tried this, so we may not know the specifics.
Yeah, and it wasn't. And you said it was a suitcase, so not an actual shirt. I still think that even if AI can give you some parameters, it can't create like for specific bodies, because otherwise, that's
why not
for the creators.
But why not? Why not?
Well,
because
hang
on, Clara, let me finish. So. Your body parameters are already in Second Life. If you ask the AI to design, as part of the parameters, design me a shirt that will fit a legacy body, for example, it will go away and design a shirt that will fit a legacy body. That is it. Okay, you then import the whole thing. It might clip in a couple of places. You can tweak that. But hey, you're spending 14 Lindens for this. You're not spending 1,000. You're not paying for that demo, and you own it.
I think you should look at her.
I still prefer to buy. I'll spend 1,000.
Yeah, same.
I don't have the time. But I guess someone who has the time to play with it and doesn't have much.
I think you should look at Raveena's question though.
Well, AI. You're looking at OpenAI for these. That's the big one, which I do know there's all the stuff on there. Forget using things like deepfake and stuff, because there are problems inherently with regard to that. But OpenAI is the big one right now out there, as long as you've got a later version. So yes, you can use that.
How does it handle triangles or VR AM impact?
Because it can use any design. And all you're simply doing is you produce the model to start with. You can refine it, so you can start adding the parameters to refine that model as you go through. So you say, okay, I've got a white coloured mesh. I don't want that mesh to be white coloured. I want that mesh to be. Let's refer back to something we had earlier. I want to have an alligator skin on it. Okay, so it'll go ahead and produce an alligator skin texture and put that onto that for you. You could do that.
I think her point is that a lot of different things go into making something than just it being a suitcase and stuff.
A suitcase is a really quick and easy thing to do because it's rectangular, and it's a straight cube, but it's an oblong. So there's that. It was just an idea to see if it actually worked. All you've then got to do is refine those parameters and just say, okay, so I want it to fit this particular thing. I want it to be this particular shape, not necessarily an oblong. I want it to be a boat shape. I want it to be a house shape.
Do you know what she means by triangles, and do you know how it handles that?
Yes.
What does she mean by it?
I don't have to go into all that in the course of this conversation, but yes, it's in terms. What she's talking in terms of is how the mesh is shaped. Is it what kind of oh my goodness, what kind of shapes is it using to compile that whole mesh shape on there? So it's going to be triangles. It's going to be polygons. It's going to be all those kind of things. How that basically maps onto the whole thing. Yeah, the AI will do that. The AI does handle that. So. Hey.
Yeah, but I think you still need to know how to use, learn a little bit about AI coding and all that kind of thing to prompt it.
Yeah. When you start with your AI, you can have your first AI instruction. That's not the last instruction you give it. You can then refine that, and eventually, after doing a bit of a refining, and obviously then applying the texture, you will have the shape you desire to the colour you desire, and you just import that for the Princely Summer 14 Lindens, and you have got something in there. Guess what? You can even sell that on the marketplace, and you could make a hell of a lot of profit on there if you only make it for 14 Lindens. So, there's an income stream for people.
There's enough vendors. We don't need more income streams. We've got enough vendors. Come on.
Yeah.
Come on.
You don't need to pay people for demos if you're doing that, because effectively you go ahead and make your thing yourself. It's easy.
Just stop charging for demos.
I don't make clothing. I wouldn't charge for an AI. I wouldn't charge for a clothing demo. No, why would I? Because I want people to have confidence it's actually going to fit them.
I'm going to
want people to like
10 Lindens. 10 Lindens for demos.
I wouldn't do it. I don't. Ethically, I don't feel it's right. I might make a bit of money out there. I'd lose the goodwill of an awful lot of people if I did. Why would I want to cut my own throat doing it? So no, I'm not going to be charging for anything I do.
Because you're a smart businessman.
Yeah, and that's another issue though.
Funny?
A lot of businesses in Second Life don't have any idea on how to run a business as well. There's that issue.
Well, they don't.
Yeah.
There is that.
So they think it's okay to charge 1 Linden. And I have to say that any people, any creators, all the creators I've contacted who charge me 1 Linden, there's only one person that responded and apologized for it and even offered a refund and said she would change it back. But any other creators, not one of them has responded. Although I'm guessing the one that are saying it's okay to charge are the one commenting on the video.
Yeah,
Yeah. They think it's
It's all very well charging. It's all very well charging, and then when someone draws attention to it, then turn around and say, "Oh, you know what? I'll give you a refund." No, just don't bother charging in the first place. It's an awful lot easier. You don't lose any goodwill. You have nothing to lose by doing that. You are losing the goodwill, should I say, of the people that might be uncertain and might not have confidence in your quality of your product. You're losing all of that. Stop trying to milk them for money at the end of the day. So
what do you what do you think of charging for a demo if they are not in the group? Because that was the only place I thought I was seeing it until you raised the issue.
No, I don't care if you're in a group or not.
No. You do not charge for demo, group or not. You do not charge for a demo. There is no point for it. And the thing is, one of the demo, and I'm not going to mention any brand, but one of the demos that I tried, I saw a picture on Flickr and I thought, oh, this looks good. So I went there, and it was the top and the pants, and they were separate, so obviously I had to pay 2 Linden to try it on, and it looked like crap because obviously the Flickr picture was enhanced. It looked great, but the product itself. So I spent 2 Lindens to try something that I thought looked good in a picture, but the reality was it didn't look great. But
the reality is, Pris. The reality is, Pris, you got ripped off.
Yeah, I did.
They basically took advantage of you because you wanted to know if it actually fitted or not, and that's not an unreasonable thing. They just decided to take advantage of you by charging you for that ability. So
I think somebody said that it wasn't true. They can't. Someone said that the software, the vendors is charging, they don't have a choice in the matter. But the thing is, with that, I'm thinking, okay, if a vendors, I don't know how many vendor system there is they are available on Second Life. But even if there are many, why some vendors can allow not to charge and why or charge and refund you, and why some vendors, why would the vendor system itself allow to charge one Linden and not refund the system?
Well,
so now
it doesn't make sense. It doesn't follow, Chris. It doesn't follow, Chris, because I can go on the marketplace and I can get free demos, and I don't mind using that. And that's great, actually, because that means I can actually check and see if the thing actually...
But what I mean, you know what, there's Casper Vend, the system Casper Vend, and then there's
Yeah.
another popular system, which I can't remember the name. There's another one, popular one, but apparently there's more than these two. There's more. And some of the system, you can sell a copy of a box. You don't even need... Some people have said it was they're charging to avoid copybotting, but I was told that you can copybot anyway. It doesn't matter if you pay for the demo or you don't have the demo, you can copybot anyway. So
Correct.
I think charging one Linden, you don't have no reason. There's no excuse, okay? And why would you want to track me anyway to see how many sales? Like, I don't think it's true, because even if you go into your statement, every demos you try for 0 Linden shows on your statement. So if it shows
Correct.
on my statement, it will show on the vendor's statement as well.
Correct.
So
Correct.
there is no excuse, no valid reason
Correct.
to charge one Linden unless you want to make that extra money.
So here's the thing. Terms of service and GDPR both say that you're not allowed to collect data on other people unless you have their express permission up front. If they are saying that you have to pay a Linden so they can track you, that's not really conforming to that law.
Yeah.
So I think they're on very, very dodgy ground on that. Let alone the fact. Don't try and back them up, Clara.
No.
They are not
I'm not
performing
trying
to
to back
terms of
them
service.
up. I'm trying to say that the only law they have to follow is California law.
I don't care about whether it's California or not. They are not allowed to collect that information.
Great Britain law, like it applies.
You're not listening, Clara. Clara, you're not listening to me. It's in the
Yes, I
terms
am.
of service as well. You know, you're not. It's in the terms of service as well. You're not allowed to collect that information on people.
Yeah.
Oh
that's
no,
You're
I'm
not.
not talking about that. I'm talking about charging.
Oh yeah, no, we're not talking about charging. We're talking about
Don't
what they were trying to
information.
what they were trying to do was justify them charging for a demo by saying they can then track the people that are trying the demos. No, you're not allowed to do that.
Yeah.
That's against terms of service.
Well, right.
So yeah, it's you have no and as Chris is right saying. You can track a free demo. You can track a free demo because as soon as you hit the pay button, even if the amount you're paying is nothing, it still shows up on your statement. So they can still see that.
Yeah.
So that it's the fact that they're just simply trying to find excuses for the fact they're charging you a Linden or 2 Lindens or 10 Lindens.
Well, obviously, yeah.
Yeah, because if they charge 5 Lindens at one event and there's 1,000 people trying those Lindens, they're basically paying for their booth or something. Like, no, it is wrong, and the managers should look into that, because it's not like there's hundreds of them. There's only a couple of them, and I see them at all events. And I was going to do a short because I went to Dubai. One of them has 2 booth, okay, so they're making 6 Lindens in demos.
Yeah.
Someone is charging 6 Lindens for demos.
Well, they've got 6 demos there in their booth.
Yeah, Remy, I understand what you're saying. When you search and you say don't show demo items and you see tons of items, that's down to the way they classify them when they store them on the marketplace. That's not down to your filters or the Lindens. That's down to the people and how they actually enter them on the system. So it might just be sloppy. It might be the fact that they don't understand how to put things on the system properly. But yeah, there are people out there that do that. And yes, I can go looking for things, and I say I want to look for items because maybe I'm feeling cheap one day. I might want to look at anything that costs me less than 10 Lindens or less than 50 Lindens, and I'll get a whole load of things that suddenly register as being demo items. And I'm looking.
Yeah.
I'm not looking for demos. It's just the way they store them on the marketplace, and there's nothing you can do about that apart from educate them and hope that they decide to do something about it. Yeah. Although actually they probably won't do anything about it because they want their products to show up when you do your search. And the fact of it, if you say you're trying to discount the demo items, their product's still showing up on the other things. So it's a way of getting attention to themselves. So yeah, it might not be right, but it's what people are doing. So
but Linden should be, putting a stop to that. Look into it.
Yeah.
No. Instead,
it would be great if they did, but this is a big old global community, and depending on who you talk to, there's anything short of 11,000 people online, or the Lindens can say there's 50,000 people online. How do you police all that stuff? You need more than a business operations director or a 6-figure salary to be able to do that. So they don't have those kind of resources out there.
Well, okay, hire an AI engineer person that can. I'm sure AI could probably find a solution on how to fix that in the long run.
Probably can.
Yeah.
Or just change the system. Just change the system to identify obviously what's demo and what isn't, and change it that way.
Well, I don't know. I don't know how many vendor systems there is. I have absolutely no idea. I just know there's 2 main ones.
Yeah.
But there's apparently others. I don't really pay attention when I'm buying stuff. That's the issue as well. Like, we don't really, you out there to go shopping. You don't really want to know who's. You never get them. Well, I've got a
really.
I've got a really disappointing story, which I'm really, really disappointed because I actually bought something from my favorite creator, and I didn't buy I got the demo, but I didn't pay attention to it, and I bought the fat pack, and unfortunately. The pens are clipping through my skin, and I contacted them, and I have to say I haven't heard from them in a week. So I'm just like, don't tell me that, because
okay.
Yeah, so they haven't replied to me to say, oh yes, we're aware of it. I don't know, I keep seeing pictures on Flickr and they look normal, so I don't know if it was just Lara X that had the issue, but yeah, so
who knows?
Yeah.
The one thing I would like to do is
just try the demo and pay attention.
But one thing I would like to people do is shout out, let's show a bit of compassion sometimes to some of these creators. They are people just like you and I. Sometimes they do have other things to do in their lives apart from hanging on the end of the line and hoping we're going to buy something or pay them for a demo or whatever.
No, how dare they? They need to spend
their
life.
Okay.
I want something and they need to drop everything for me, right?
As Raveena is saying, maybe they are on vacation. Okay, let me look at another one which I have seen. There is a lady that creates shoes. She's very well known, and I have heard about this. And people have been trying to contact her for, in some cases, a number of weeks to sort out just customer service on the shoes that she does. And she's very popular. And she has gone radio quiet. And there have been a lot of people saying, oh, she's got no service and, oh, she's bad and everything else. And then the story came out last week. She has a son who is critically ill. They have problems in terms of, living, their day-to-day medical expenses and everything else on these things. She has problems with regard to that. She hasn't seriously had the time to be able to spend providing customer service to people in Second Life because she has, the life of her own relative, her own flesh and blood out there. And actually, she was saying to people, I'm going to reduce things and do a sale on these things simply so you can buy these things. Please, if you can buy them for the items, that would be great. If you could buy a little bit more for them, and we'll do it that way as well, that would be absolutely wonderful. I'm simply trying to save the life of my son. And suddenly, in the forums, the whole thing completely turned around, and people realised just how tenacious they were being, and down-crying this person for their lack of customer service and consideration, without being mindful of the actual circumstances that creator was in. So please, let's just sometimes be a little bit mindful as to what these creators are actually doing. We all want customer service. We all want to have the great things out there. Yes, the unscrupulous ones that want to charge us for the ability to try and check and see if something actually works or not, that doesn't rest easy. If you've got some other guys out there, maybe they do have other things going on in their lives sometimes, so they can't quite necessarily give you the same degree of customer service as one of the really large brands that may have 10, 15 customer service agents lurking out there as well. At the end of the day, they're all trying to make a bit of money. Sometimes there are other stories going on behind the scenes out as well. So I'd be mindful of those creators too.
True. And we're talking about Encore. Is that the one?
We are, yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. We can say Encore. If you want to buy some shoes, you can go to Encore.
Yeah. She's got some good deals going, but there's some reasons why she's got some good deals going right now. And I think, with the best will in the world, I wish her well, and I really hope she manages to sort out the challenges that she's going through right now. And as a result of that, I certainly don't feel it's an excuse to rip her off and try and take as much money from her as possible, because at the end of the day, she spends a lot of time and energy into making those products for people. But as I say, she has got some real things going on in real life right now. And Nuri, if you're out there and you get to see the live stream, we all do wish you well. We are behind you, and whatever we can try and do to help, we will.
Okay, so Clara.
Yes.
So, Clanny wants you to speak French.
Trump. Lol.
Okay, so we are going to talk about trompe-l'œil. Okay, trompe-l'œil. I don't know if you know that brand. They make the. Okay, this is the version of how
they make awesome houses.
Okay. Okay, but yeah, Clara.
What's it called? What's
it called again? Trompe-l'œil.
What's it called again, Clara?
Trompe-l'œil.
Oh no, she's getting better at it. Oh my gosh. Did you practice or something?
No.
Carlos, hello in Portugal. Yes, there we go.
Hi. This is
Hi, Carlos.
His voice is too loud. Whose voice is too loud?
He's probably talking about me. I'm the only guy here. Yeah, okay, I'll shut up.
Yeah. Shut up, Andy. Shut up, Andy. Yes, we know he's too loud. We can't hear.
I didn't realise it was that loud. Actually. Let me see if I can try and turn it down a bit.
What do you say? How do you say it, Andy? Trompe-l'œil?
Trompe-l'œil?
Okay. Je suis désolée.
Je suis désolée. Did I do it?
No, you didn't. You didn't actually. Je suis désolée. Yeah.
Hi, babe.
Je suis désolée.
Oh, did you practice or something?
Did you just heard me say it? That's all it was.
Oh my gosh.
I am learning a little bit of French on Duolingo, but only on days that I can't. Only on days that I basically lock myself out of the app on the Spanish when I don't get it. Spanish is the one I'm working on.
Can you say, let me type that. Can you say this? Because I know my son-in-law, when he tries to say it, Joyeux anniversaire. There. Can you say this?
Am I quieter? Am I quieter now?
Yes, you are. Can you say that?
Joyeux anniversaire.
Oh no!
There we go.
Why are you so good at French now?
I swear I didn't practice.
I don't believe it. She's practicing French. I know she is.
And this has the babysitter. He can't help it.
It reminds me of a time I went with a firm I was working for. We went over to Salt Lake City and we went into a restaurant there where they had a whole lot of different wines, and the guy that was waiting on the table hadn't got a clue. He had no idea how to read this stuff off. And eventually we got to the point where he was just basically calling up the number. It was almost like ordering a Chinese takeout, rather than the actual pronouncing the whole thing there. And we got to the point where we said, okay, can we have a bottle of Chateauneuf du Pape? And he just completely blew his mind. He said, whatever, he said, and just walked off. It was quite funny.
Clowny says 14 doesn't make sense, it doesn't follow order. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, oh my gosh, I don't even know how to count. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15.
I have no idea. Cheval, les shot.
I don't know. Just stop making fun of the French, all right?
Me?
I don't.
No, I'm trying my best.
Clowny. No, you're fine. Clowny is making fun of the French.
I have a rule when I go to France, and I was talking to a guy.
Oh mon Dieu!
Mon Dieu!
And he said to me, he had some time for me because I should actually give it a go. And he said to me, "Your French is appalling." He said, "Your French is abysmal." He said, "But you give it a go." And I'm talking about Paris here, and Paris is a certain breed where they are particularly Gallic and maybe a little bit Napoleonic in terms of their attitude to other people from other parts of the world. And I went in there, and I'd always try and say something in French, and they just sort of glare at you with a sort of with that sort of expression on their faces, you know. Oh, le roast beef has turned up. I spit on you. This kind of thing. It's the way they are. And I would say something in French, and then they would burst out laughing and respond to me in perfect English. And that was the way I do things when I go to France, literally now. You give it a go, that first sentence, and that just breaks the ice, and then they just talk back to you in English, and it's easy. I don't understand why people can't do more of that.
Poo-poo baguette. French talk is so gay. Oh my gosh.
Poo-poo baguette.
Yeah, poo-poo baguette. I'm going to hit you with my baguette. This is what I get all the time. That's what people always say to me.
Really?
When I'm on Xbox, it's always, I'm going to hit you with my baguette with a French accent, which I can't do, obviously.
My goodness, what can I say?
But and I've actually somebody found me something to throw croissant at people in Second Life.
Croissant.
Yeah, croissant.
How's it
Croissant.
go again? How's it go again, Clara?
Croissant.
Croissant. There's no T. The T is silent. A croissant.
Croissant.
Croissant. And a pain au chocolat, which here they call it a chocolate croissant, but in French is a pain au chocolat. But Denise says it's not a pain au chocolat. Yeah, she says are you calling it a sandwich because it's basically.
Is it le pain? Is it not le pain du chocolat, or is it pain au chocolat?
Pain au chocolat.
Okay.
Which is a chocolate croissant. How they
there we
call
go.
It here. Yeah.
Sounds like a chocolate pear.
And Denise, says it's a sandwich, chocolate sandwich.
Ravena's remembering Peter Sellers doing the Inspector Clouseau here, and he was brilliant, I have to say. Yes.
Peter Sellers was awesome.
I'm good. I started your general direction. Yes. Hello, my lovely. Yes, and all that stuff. Yeah, I know. It's funny.
Yeah, now I want a croissant now. Oh, mind you, I made waffles this morning for breakfast.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, waffles.
They're not good. They're not good at waffles in France. So they're very into the pastries and the
I had an
delicacies.
egg for breakfast.
What do you mean they're not good? Stop it. We're good at everything, okay? We're better than
Well, all
She's
right,
not
maybe-
wrong.
Maybe not the one. Maybe
She's
not the
not
ones.
wrong.
Maybe not the ones in Paris. Put it that way.
Wow.
Paris,
Get out.
Paris is
Don't
an
even-
interesting
Le
place.
popo! Le
Paris is-
popo, Andy!
Paris is an interesting place where everybody has a small dog, and they take the dogs out for a walk. This is no disrespect to you, Chris. They take the dogs out for a walk. The dog does what nature says dogs can do, and they never ever clean it up. And
Serious?
yeah.
Yeah.
And you can go from like April through to say September, and the smell just gets more and more and more. Until you get around to September when the rain starts hitting Paris again and everything else, and that washes some of it away. But that bit before the rain hits it, it's really quite pungent. So yeah.
They haven't changed that. I mean, I haven't been to France in so many years, so they still do. So they still know.
Oh yeah,
cleaning.
yeah.
Wow.
That's really bad.
Oh yeah. It's one of the things you don't get to see. You don't get to hear so much about when you think of your ideal Paris life and everything. But yes, it stinks of dog shit.
Over here, we have too many Karens. If you try to do that, you'll get yelled at by your neighbors.
Yeah. Here, if you
Yeah.
do that, everybody and it's like a new a trend as well. You get designers plastic bags for your dog. There's all sorts. So yeah.
Yeah.
IT girl
there we go.
is Kimmi Undercover. Kimmi, the IT girl 69 Undercover. Wow. Wow.
I'm not gonna make a joke about blowing in 69. I said I'm not.
Oh my gosh, you have to stop the coffee.
I have
for
no
wine now?
comment to make on any of this. I'm just going to let you girls talk, all right?
Yeah. No. I don't want to be cancelled, so come on, we have to stay clean. This is not X. But yeah.
I was talking about whistles and numbers.
Yeah. Now that we have to redo a whole Cards Against Second Life Resident, we have to do it on X.
We do. We
Yes.
do. Can we are you able to live stream concurrently on both, Chris?
Possibly. I've just never
I'm
done
gonna do it right
really.
now.
Yeah,
I'm
no,
do
I'm
it.
not
You
doing it.
wanna do
I would have to figure it out. Yeah. I only
There is-
figured out.
if-
I
if-
was talking about it last night and just figured out. I can't remember who.
Well, today is International Board Games Day. Well, still here in America, it is.
So, on a aforementioned club which I'm involved with, we used to have a DJ in Brisbane who used a bit of software called Butt, of all things. Please, I'm waiting for the jokes to crop up at the name of it. But anyway, what this does is he basically takes one feed, i.e. his music audio feed, and then we'll basically split it in 5 different other feeds. So he was then broadcasting live on Twitch, on Instagram, on X, on Facebook, and in Second Life at the same time, all on the same feed. And depending on which one's buffer, sometimes they don't always broadcast exactly at the same time. Some broadcast things a couple of seconds later. It's just the way those sites are set up. But that's just a media interface. You could probably use the same bit of software or something very similar to that, I think, Chris, in terms of doing these things. So we could do the whole live stream thing on X.
Yeah.
YouTube, everything
That's
else
it.
at
I
the same
remember.
time.
Yeah, Vincent was telling me last night, and I went and figured it out. So I can do that. for X. I just have to figure it out. I never thought about it because we don't do that many stream, because my experience with streams hasn't been that great.
Yeah.
I mean, remember the last one, it just failed on me. So but yeah, we can try next time. Next week
Definitely.
we're planning games night next week. Clowny.
Fantastic. Yeah.
Yes.
I want to cook.
I think
I want to cook
I would like to.
a dinner party as well at the same time.
Okay. Pris, can I suggest that we have a game of Cards Against Humanity, Second
Again?
Lifestyle, and we'll live stream it?
Okay. Oh well. Okay, but
Yeah.
does wearing glasses makes you look smart? What?
In Pris's case, yes. Not you, Clowny.
Are you making fun of me, Clowny? Is that what it is, or? Okay, it does make me look smart, but anyway.
Well, you look
Okay,
smart
so you
anyway
want-
because you are smart.
So you want to redo another games Cards Against Residents, but
I
this
think we can probably mix it. So we've got or do it for one time. So we've got
we can only be
discussion-
done on
a discussion-
We can only
a discussion
but
like
we
we've
can
got
only do
now.
on X though.
Yeah.
Because
Okay.
I won't be
do
allowed.
it. So we've got.
Yeah.
Well, you probably could actually. Yeah.
Are you
YouTube? We're gonna
insane?
strike.
No, not with the content we were discussing when we played it.
Yeah, you'll get a strike.
No,
Don't listen to
yeah.
Andy. He doesn't know.
yeah. No, I don't think. I would have to bleep everything, and it's like I don't know if you can even do that on live anyway. So that's why I was told to do it on X, because X it has no filter.
There you go.
Which
yeah.
I didn't know.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't know I could stream on X. So I only found out yesterday.
I've been
So
watching spaceships being launched on X and stuff. So yeah, I'm pretty sure
Yeah.
you can. But
Yeah. I figured out. I just need. Chris was saying the information regarding the hiring. No, there was no information. They didn't tell us. All the thing is with those Zoom calls, like I was given a hard time for talking about the briefing, but they're just telling us, the one a few weeks ago was about security. They wanted us to talk about security. Okay, just warn people to upgrade their password and this kind of thing. So we did that. Okay, I did that. Well, I did a general one, because security, with password is not just Second Life, it's for everything. And then last week, was it last week? Or the week before, they again summoned us for the Zoom call, and this time was to talk about Tune. So there was nothing about, I got a little yelled at the content creator meeting asking about it. Well, yeah, because Linden Lab doesn't want to, if they don't want to talk about something, they just tell you to shut up, basically. That's all there is to it. And why are they going to tell us about hiring some crypto guy and paying them to... They don't have to justify it. They don't have to tell us why they're doing it either, because it's their company. So we're going back to the thing that it is a business. They want to start a casino or whatever crypto thing. They're going to do it no matter if we're happy or not.
That's true.
Yeah. I'm just a bit disappointed because we, as a blogger, we do not get any thank you. And yes, I do that because I'm having fun. I love what we do. I love the live stream, but we never get, oh, thank you, by the way. They don't go and like our posts. They don't go and repost. They don't even repost our content. Like the only time they've mentioned me was because Philip was in my video. That was the only time. They have never ever mentioned me or any other blogger.
Yeah.
You know, so they're asking us, oh yeah, come to the Zoom call and talk about this, talk about that. But that's it. There's no push. There's no nothing at all ever. But yet,
well, they might be trying to strike a balance between being completely independent and not being seen to favour one particular channel more than another. Although I appreciate that your friend Wandolph does get sometimes the jump on some things.
I
despite
disagree
the fact
with
he does
that.
provide his own slant on stuff, which isn't necessarily.
No, but I disagree with that because any other company, so like I was saying with Bungie, okay, Bungie, there's thousands of vloggers for the Destiny 2 game. They don't, and yes, they do have favorite, but those favorite it's not their favorite. They've got the biggest audience. So obviously, when they invite people, they invite maybe 20 of them. But everybody is aware. Like there's no. Yes, I mean, there was one time there was a little bit of drama around it because one of them wasn't invited, but they're not going to invite thousands of vloggers. They're inviting the one that they know are making a difference. They know that they've got the audience, right?
Yeah, yeah.
But so I'm not saying that they should promote everybody but they should give us a little bit of a push because we're doing the work for free, okay? Or just go and hire somebody because they would have to pay somebody to do what we do for free.
Well, yeah. Are we held to an NDA? No.
No.
Well, are you, Krista?
No, absolutely. Why?
Oh, okay.
I know,
Why?
I'm not.
I do have a video coming up about NDAs, but yeah, no. The only time we had, so yes, so they are so bad at promoting contributor not name Matt P. Yeah, that's totally true. Unless you're Matt P, they won't talk about you. Yeah. But there was one time they did tell us we weren't allowed to say one thing. I can't remember, but it wasn't anything that was that significant. And they said, oh, you have to wait that time to say it. But there's never any NDA. And they're not going to do any NDAs anyway, because what they do, the information, it's basically a warning. It's just, oh, by the way, we're going to write a blog post about this, so we're letting you know, and you've got basically 3 hours to talk about it. It was just like, and that was a complaint from one of the bloggers, like in one of the Zoom calls, is that they've already, whatever they're talking about, they're going to talk about it. So we're not getting any exclusivity on anything. We just know a few hours before they're going to talk about it.
Yeah.
So people giving me a hard time because I'm briefing on the Zoom call. That wasn't really fair. But yeah,
at the end of the day, they're not giving you exclusivity because they're not trying to be seen to be favouring you over anybody else. So I understand where that's coming from. Despite the fact that it might be a little harsh. But
well, they do favor someone. Okay.
They do, yeah.
Yeah, they do. They do have favorites. We know about them. They just want you to signal boost their announcement. Yeah, pretty much for free. And no thank you with it.
Yeah.
But like I said,
But
I'm
on the
not
plus
doing
side,
that.
if-
And no,
if
yeah,
on
I'm
the
not
plus side, if you do
Strawberry
that,
either.
you-
Yeah, somebody else. My name isn't Strawberry, and somebody else. Well, maybe one day you can be a Strawberry. I don't want to be Strawberry. I'm not trying to be Strawberry.
What's strawberry? What?
Strawberry Linden.
I don't, what?
Strawberry Linden. Don't you
There's
know
a strawberry Linden?
Clara, seriously?
I don't know every Linden name. I'm sorry.
No. But Strawberry was a blogger. Was initially a blogger. Like everybody knows Strawberry. Like if you don't know Strawberry,
I've only been around like 2 or 3 years. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay. She's been around for a long, long time. So yeah, Strawberry was a blogger. The blogger, I would say. And then she was offered a job at Linden Lab, so now she's Strawberry Linden. Yeah, but we don't hear her voice. Like she's always in the meetings, but she never talks. And that's what I said when somebody asked me that. I said no, because I don't want to lose my voice.
Yeah.
Because she's at every meetings, but she never says anything. Well, I hope she wasn't behind the AI video, because that would suck. It's all about Minka Purple. Minka!
You'll say that though. I mean,
Oh, she does? Oh,
I'm
okay.
I'm
don't-
sorry.
yeah,
I'm sorry
I'm not
myself.
gonna-
I don't know. Apart from you, Chris, apart from you and maybe that other guy, that name beginning with W, I don't actually know any other bloggers in Second Life. I don't follow the bloggers. I don't follow the events. I'm probably the antichrist of
me
this
neither.
entire infrastructure and community. I don't know.
I don't know any of
I
the
don't follow
Linden,
this stuff,
yeah,
so it's
yeah.
all lost on me.
Yeah, I
but,
only
you
know the
hey.
Linden since the Zoom call, like Brett and whoever comes in. But yeah, I don't know the Linden either.
Yeah.
Outside of
That being
Philippe,
said,
yeah.
you did manage to get an audience with Phil Linden, and great. Well done for doing that. If they didn't have some confidence in what you were doing, then they wouldn't have allowed you that opportunity either. So I think that says something for it.
Yeah, but I think
But,
Philip does participate a lot with the community, and I'm not really sure what is his role. Because he does participate, he does share a few things, but same thing, he doesn't. I've commented a few times. I don't really get any replies, and he doesn't. Same thing, he doesn't repost. He doesn't do any of that.
Yeah. He's not like an Elon Musk, for example. You can direct message Elon Musk, and Elon Musk will come back to. Well, if he feels like it, he will come back and say something back, and sometimes it can be absolutely hilarious.
Philip. Philip is a nice person. I do like him. He's got a good personality. He's got good vibes. He's that kind of person when you meet with him. You instantly get the good vibes. He's a nice person. Yeah.
Okay.
We need Trump making a
The only Trump we need in here is Trump a lol.
Oh.
Wow.
Has it go again? Did you say Trump a lol there, Clara?
Oh my
Yeah, that's the
gosh.
only Trump we need in SL.
Trump a lol. Yeah, okay.
Yes.
And Naya Panther accent is the best, and she should run SL. Oh, what? She's got a better accent than me? Is that what you're saying? Bloody hell! Wow. Where's the unfriend button?
Everyone knows I have the best accent in SL.
What, that Texan accent?
Trump a lol accent.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, yeah. Let's trash all the accents. Clanny's got a Aussie accent. Aussie.
That's because he's from
Oi, oi,
Australia.
oi.
I mean, that's funny enough. Yeah.
Yes, French is le poo-poo. Le poo-poo.
Le boo-boo.
Is
Right.
there anything else you want to raise?
I guess I'm kind of done here, and I know you're going to call me a lightweight and shoot me down in flames.
Oh,
because it is
don't
getting
tell me you're
on my
tired.
nerves.
You had an espresso. What the hell is
You
wrong
had that
with
mini
you?
espresso.
I'm feeling remarkably alert because this is actually quite a strong coffee. I've got to be honest with you. But it is 2:45 a.m. my local time here right now. So
Wow, Andy, wow. It's not even
Yeah.
3 a.m. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
I mean,
we need to
Thunder
raise
stays
hell.
up until 4 a.m. He's on the same time zone as you. Okay, so if Thunder can do it, you can do it.
but Tunder's going out with you. I'm not. All right.
Going out with me. My time zone is still pretty early. It's only 8:45 p.m. here.
Yeah.
Just because Tunde wants to get up at 4 a.m. to have a chat with you, Chris, it doesn't mean to say I have to. Come on. There you go. Look. Yeah.
Do sweet talk in French. Yeah, that's why he stays up, because I talk to him. Yeah, sweet talk in French. Wow. But yeah, no.
Okay.
Raise
Right.
hell. Yeah. All right. Well, that is.
So next time anyway, next week or next time, it's going to be Cards Against Humanity.
Okay,
No
so,
holds-
so
no
I
holds
have
barred.
to. Okay, so I have to. But it will be on X. So if you're not on X, you won't be able to see it, because I can't do this
can probably-
on YouTube.
We could probably put a note on here to say that we're about to live on X, and just put that up as like a banner. Maybe that might.
Thunder's
yeah.
date from. I don't know, because now you're
Are you
ruining my plans, because I was planning on doing a live stream for a game next week. So we've got the date right, so we've got to change that. So if we're going to do games again, SL or RL version? We could do both, I guess.
Yeah. Why not?
Yeah, we could do both. Yeah. Okay, so I have to
That
reorganize
works.
that. So yeah, so that would be on X. You can put it. Oh yes,
What we
I can
could,
do that.
what we can
Yeah.
do, Chris, and I know that I've seen other channels do.
Yep.
Put a banner up here and be broadcasting it live to say that you are live streaming on X. And put a link to the X channel on there, so that people that can see this coming up on the live stream on YouTube, and then go onto X, and then they can just hit the link, and they can sort of pick us up on the game from there. That might work.
Ellie,
There you are. Ravena's got
yeah.
it. Ravena's got it. Follow. Do what Ravena said.
I will never.
It's Twitter. Yeah, it's Twitter. I know. I always say tweets. Yeah, tweet. Oh, I'm going to tweet in X. But yeah, Twitter is like, yeah. And Ellie, no, I can't do it in both, because Cards Against Humanity, if you know the game, it's a very, how do you say, rude, adult, or yeah, there's a lot of bad language that I cannot do on let's strip Cards Humanity.
Yeah, Clowny, for you, I will do strip Cards Against Humanity. I will
But
do.
the
I will
nose
do it. I will
stays
sit
up.
here.
No,
I will have
the
some sub on
nose
it.
has to go.
I will be sitting here with a whole load of clothes on, and I will be able to say, if I get something wrong, I will take my clothes off. Will take something off every time I get something wrong. I will do that.
It'll be Kindle night. Woohoo.
However, I would point out that I'm talking about wearing clothes in real,
Okay,
not
Ollie.
on Second Life. And therefore, you can't stream that kind of stuff on there. Well, actually, you probably could stream it. So if you did do that, then fair enough, good luck, and knock yourself out. But you're not going to see me live taking my clothes off on camera.
Yeah, no,
Plain
that's
That's the sort of thing. That's the sort of thing they put on Twitch, isn't it? That, you know, if you want to listen to a DJ on there,
you
get some
banned
girl in
on
a
Twitch
bikini
for
in a hot
that.
tub.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
No,
Hot
I
tub,
think
yes,
you have to do
get
it. Isn't
banned.
it on OnlyFans? Okay, now it's OnlyFans. If we want to do that would be on OnlyFans. Yep. Yes.
Clown,
Raveena's got it.
Oh my god, clown, yes.
Show me your crumpet.
Oh my god! Yeah.
Oh, wow.
We could do the unadulterated version of the Second Life on OnlyFans. That would be hysterical. Yeah. Okay.
Oh my gosh! Yeah, no, I'm not going on OnlyFans. Oh,
Can you imagine? Can you imagine some guy turning up with like a freebie? What's it? And yeah, that would be hysterical.
I have one of those.
I don't know. Do they?
I have a lot of Watsits.
Hold up a minute. Hang on, Clara. Just say that again.
I have one of those. I have a freebie Watsit, and I have a lot of Watsits.
Why? What? Please tell me. Why have you got one of those?
A freebie what?
Give it to me because I was probably talking about it. Okay, so every Watsit I have was free. I haven't paid for any of them, but yeah, I've got a few.
Oh my god. I've got a girlfriend who's a chick with a dick now. What can I say? You kept that one quiet for the last 18 months. Yeah, all right. Okay.
Yes, yes, I have so many too. Yeah, Kimmi, I'm the same. Now my folder's got plenty of that now since, yeah.
Fantastic.
But yeah,
this is gonna be like that New Zealand. Was it Australia? Was it New Zealand advert where they were talking about cork on your deck?
Oh yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, it was an ad. It was.
That was
It
a
got
great
banned.
one.
It got banned apparently because the Australian accent made it so the New Zealand accent actually made it sound like something completely different. But it was an advert for putting cork, CAULK, on your deck. You know, which is what you have outside your house.
Yeah.
But with the accent, it sounds like something completely different, and the actual. The whole
Whatever
advert was,
your accent too make it sound like you're actually saying.
Doesn't it?
I see. Yeah, they did. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, but he was not. It was not demonetizable words. He was talking about male chickens and backyard patios.
Yeah, I know, but
No.
it did sound.
No, I wasn't talking about male chickens. I was talking about.
This is right, the building material, the spooky building
I was
material.
talking about cork and decks. Yes, I'll get you to put in the chat.
But your accent, like, it could be.
Yes,
it
like
sounds.
Rita.
Yeah, it sounds
Yeah,
a bit
so I'm
like
using your account at the moment. Yeah.
Hey baby, look who's here now. Someone found our stream.
You know.
Andy, language.
Raveena.
Oh my.
He's not supposed to be awake this time of night. She must have gone back from a job at the moment.
Propane and water on your deck.
Oh well. It's a fantastic.
Wow.
It's actually on YouTube somewhere. I'll probably find it. It was a.
Oh yeah, I
it's,
probably lost 50 cents this time. Yep, I know. 50 cents is costing me, Andy, by swearing.
But he didn't swear.
He said the F word.
Oh,
No,
maybe.
well,
I probably do. I'm not
Well,
that mindful of what I say. I've got
I
to be
think
honest
I've
with
said
you.
the F word on your stream
yeah,
before.
no, that's fine.
We don't
I've
really
said all
think
sorts.
about that, do we? We need
I've said all sorts of things on. Yeah.
Yeah. No, but that's the whole point of streaming, though. So that's all good. 50 cent will get you a demo.
50 cents for you a demo.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah. Come on, 50 cents, people, pay up.
I've got it. I've found the advert. Just if you guys want to sit back and have a bit of a giggle later.
What? You want me to put a link up?
I'll put the link up.
Where?
No, I won't.
Where? No, you can't.
There you go. I'll put it in. I'll put it in. There we go. It's that. If there's another. Oh,
Yeah,
hang
but
on. There's a
nobody
short way
can
doing this.
see
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, hang on a minute. Let me find it.
This is why I don't come there. You don't come where?
Find it. There we go.
Don't ask that.
It's that. So it's. I want. What do I want to do?
Clowny has no filter. Yeah, we know. We know.
There you
That's
go.
why.
Give them
That's
that.
why. That's why he keeps saying to me, "I'll put that in."
In the nearby chat.
He,
Just have a-
he paid me 1 Linden. You're not getting that back. There's no refund for 1 Linden, okay? He just paid
Demo,
me
yeah.
for that.
Isn't working.
Copy URL. Is that? Okay, hold on. I need to put it.
Just copy that link and pop it in the other chat. You'll be fine.
I can't put
That's
it.
what we're
in the
trying to
chat.
do. There we go.
You're not doing
I did
it.
it.
There it is. That's it. Yeah.
Oh, you did? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
What is that? Is that a queen laughing?
For all the Australians. Yeah.
To the live stream, don't want you to lose ad revenue. Yeah, I'm sure 1 Linden is going to cover that. Yeah. Thank you. Can't you see the $sign? You know, Clowny on the under the chat. This is where you have to pay the Lindens. Make it $1.
I don't move any of my money through Google anymore.
Yeah.
I've been scammed through Google 4 times in a summer. The bank stopped refunding me. It's a long story. Actually, that was the whole story, pretty much.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
So,
Ladies, gentlemen, boys and girls, it's been an absolute pleasure tonight.
yeah.
Lovely to share the deck of my boat with everybody.
Thank you very much for showing up today, and yeah, I'll organize
I love
next
your
time.
spotted deck.
that Cards Against Humanity or Resident or whatever for next week on X or Twitter. Oh, don't
Definitely,
forget-
we'll be there.
Aussie monies? You mean the dollary do?
All right.
Fantastic. Remy,
Thank
Raveena,
you.
Ellie, Clowny, everybody, great to see
Yeah.
you.
Say goodnight
And,
to Kat too. She's here.
yeah.
Bye, Cat. All right.
Night night, Kat.
Right, okay.
All right.
She's-
I'm going to end up.
I'll have to,
and-
I can see I'm going to have words with this girl later tomorrow morning or something.
No,
so
all
yeah,
good.
well, whatever.
That's
Fine.
the whole point of a stream.
God.
Yeah, no, you're
Please.
fine, Clowny.
To be fair to her, she does do a lot of work in the music business, and she does tend to work late in some nightclubs where she is at the moment. So yeah, that's probably one of the reasons why she's on this thing right now. She says that she was in the club that we work in earlier on, and she said she was going away to do something else. And she's probably just it's 3:00, so she's probably back.
Is it
now.
still dark there,
Bye.
Kat, or is the sun coming up?
Nice.
Where is she?
Ibiza.
Spain. Yes, Ibiza. It's dark.
Yeah.
Okay.
She's
All
in
right.
some of the she's in some very well-known locations on that island. So yeah,
Mhm.
you talk about people that are lying below the radar in Second Life. She's kind of one of them. But yeah, she's fun.
She's gonna be famous.
All
she's
right.
not. Yeah, she's
Going,
reasonably
we're
well
going,
known
we're
already. So
going.
yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Bye.
We're gonna go. Good night,
Good
everybody.
night,
Have fun.
everybody. Good
Take
night,
care.
Kat. Or
If
good
you
morning,
can't be good, be
Kat.
careful. If you can't be careful, name it after Chris. We'll see you next time.
All right. Ending. Okay.